No, I mean, really, if we're talking about classes and groups of people, only thing I know how to call them is what we've historically called them and what they identify themselves as.
It's on all the applications.
Yeah.
Every application you get, they ask you to list your race.
List your race.
You know, so I mean, what's the big deal to call people white folks?
That's right. Yeah. One who is dynamically believing that is a movement should have 8 characteristics. Sober and calm during times of confusion and chaos, patient during tribulation, thankful during good times, content with what Allah has provided him. He does not do injustice to his enemies. He is not a burden to his friends. His body is generally tired, and yet the people can take relaxing comfort in him. Knowledge is a close friend of him. That is a movement. Forbearance is his minister. Consciousness is the general of his troops. Sensitivity is his brother, and piety is his father. From these, patience has 4 corners. This is another one of those things I was talking about a little while ago when it says this has that. So it talks about stages. Patience has 4 corners: yearning, dread, attachment, and anticipation. So whoever yearns for the garden will be diverted from his lust and endure their unfulfillment. Whoever dreads the fire will return from the forbidden things. Whoever is detached from the immediate life, hardships will become easy for him to bear. And whoever anticipates death will rush forward to all manners of goodness. Boy, that's really deep. Certainly has 4 corners: visioning, the intelligence, uncovering the wisdom, cognizing the warnings, and cognizing the ways of peoples of the past. So whoever visions the understanding will cognize wisdom. Whoever uncovers the wisdom will cognize the warnings. Whoever cognizes the warnings will cognize the ways of old. And whoever organizes or whoever cognizes the ways of old, it is as though he is among the past peoples. He is guided to that which is most upright. He sees who is saved and that by which he is saved. He sees who is destroyed and that by which he is destroyed. And Allah only destroys the one who is destroyed through his disobedience, and he saves the one who is saved through obedience. Justice has 4 corners: deep understanding, abundance of knowledge, clear judgment, and expansive forbearance. I just wanted to mention that some of the spiritual dynamics talk about different levels of things. And this one, about the 4 corners, certainty, that is yaqeen, has 4: visioning, intelligence, uncovering the wisdom, cognizing the warnings, and the ways of people of the past. Now, here's what we have to do. We have anticipated certain things. First of all our people in Oakland are the police. That's clear. Most of the people here in D.C. are the police. All of the street prayers and everybody else that we have come across, is sad now, seem to be anti-Islamic. Is it too cool in here? That's right. It's okay. Okay. Now, we have to deal with all of that. The other thing is, we have to engineer a whole environment where nothing is based on our word. Because remember, when we do our scanning the environment, when we look at our environment, we come up with Yakub Zaki, professor of European Studies in Edinburgh, Scotland in those days, and myself. That's what my analysis. I have to analyze things. We had gotten to where we was through analysis, action, and avoiding making the proper decisions. Now, the other thing that you have to do as an individual is, we call it juristic review. You review your decisions, maybe over a lifetime. You review your decisions and thought patterns and everything else with making decisions. And you come up with a management tool. How often, am I correct? How often have we caught the trends? The trend of the West is decline. The trend of the East is incline. At a certain time, the decline hits a tip where it's like a journey. If we right here in I guess it's the Atlantic side, and we want to go to Europe, it's about 3,000 miles. Okay, if we go out 1,000 miles and the boat start clinking or something or anything, we can come back. We're only 1,000. But after we get out 1,500 miles, we're past the point of no return. Because it's 15 miles, 1,500 going, 1,500 coming. Now, if we get 1,800 miles, we're going to definitely try to make the European coast. So we have analyzed our environment. That's what a strategic manager, the first thing is scan your environment. The beliefs, the ideas, concepts, all the things that make up that environment. Then you come up with a plan and a strategy of what to do. Then you implement that, and then you take accountability of how you've done. And you do this over and over and over again. Okay, we're past scanning our environment right now. We've scanned it for the 500th time. We're now in motion, goal-orientated. We know exactly what we're going to do with Allah's help. Of course, that is the Muslim parliament type thing. So that's our goal. That goal keeps us focused, keeps us headed in the right direction. And can't nobody, it's been, I don't know how many things to try to divert us recently. I got a call the other night from my from my grandson's mother, the biggest snitch in the USA. She's known for that. She's a big tough name. My son, when he was going with her, some cab driver, said something crazy to her. He shot the guy. He went to the penitentiary for I don't know how long. And she told on him. But he was protecting her honor. She didn't have none, but he was just silly enough to. Anyway, so when my grandson is supposed to have passed away, between her handling the business of his passing away and what's his name, Imam, the Palestinian brother on 98th Avenue, just sabotaged my car. And when he came, his family always came to the Masjid on and on. But he, in 1990, he got a dope beef with the other guys, with the other Negroes. He was a Negro. I mean, my son's age, 100%. When other Negroes got their hair perms, he had his natural perm. He had a Palestinian. He had his swoop just like the Negroes. You know, when he was younger, when they had their little Krugers and old Mustangs with star wires and Vogues, he had his sharp. The only thing Arab about him was his family background. So when he got that beef in 1990, of course I knew about it. The Negroes in the neighborhood, they all hang around. He showed up at the Masjid with a thobe on, ready for religion. So I said, well, good to see you. It's just clear, you know. Okay. So he handled my grandson's death, you know, washing the body, and his mama. You haven't seen me grieve over her because I didn't see him die. And about my family also. That's one of the blessings. See, I look at my sons did very well. I told them in '86, I said, the only way y'all gonna get through this is you live exactly like me. Now my youngest son might be 13 or 14. How's he gonna do that? And the other one, the little girls, the police send little girls with dope and everything. And every time that boy get a nice ride, he ride big rims and bolts, boop, off the jail, and I would tell him and say, you know, every time you get in that situation. So the police convinced him that your father's the problem. Because when they used to ride bikes, when they was little kids, they'd tell, we're gonna get your father when I'm overseas. All the little kids, all their friends knew about me, you know. And we're gonna do this to your daddy and all of that. They grew up like that, you know. So when I would take them on trips, they would get real religious. But after they get back to Oakland, in about a week, that's all gone to the neighborhood. There's nothing you can do about it, the neighborhood, the environment. So when my oldest son was supposed to, he's 52 now, he's supposed to got shot 6 times and the police didn't do no checking. I didn't, maybe they gave him a little operation or something, but to this day, I didn't feel like, I feel like it was a put-up job. I think I mentioned that. And there was a wink and a nod, and they wanted me to see certain things. And this is how far we'll go. You know, you don't straighten up. And when they on my team, we all on the same team, wink and nods, go ahead. And I told them years ago, I was like, oh, ain't no system trying to be half religious. Y'all might as well just go on and do what you're doing. I mean, you know, which is going to do anyway. But the other night they called me, they said, my youngest son, which is probably 47 or 8 now, he's supposed to have been shot 3 times. I was on the phone now. It's possible, but I don't believe it. Why? Because we're focused on what we're doing. What does history prove every time? That when you get focused on something, or when you come back from somewhere, when you're moving on something, they want to divert you from what you're doing. They ain't diverting us from nobody. Muslim part of it. And also there's a certain thing about education. See, I'm a father. I'm a good father. And they didn't pick on my sons. sent little girls around, and sent little this, that, and around. And both of them stretch out on dope because they just trying to let me know everything. Like, when the oldest son's in the hospital, supposedly shot 6 times, the dialogue between the doctor is, oh, the methadone, we'll give you 135 or something like that. So he said, no, that ain't gonna be strong enough. I need 245 and 260. So that's telling me that you must be super addicted. And they're doing this in front of me. I asked the doctor, oh, they do with the ballistics, the bullets, and all. I said, well, I don't believe none of this. They may operate on you, make you look like. But, and then they tell me, yes, and he's in protective custody. And somebody, I said, the other day, I said something about my son to old stupid, about stupid Khadijah. Khadijah says, yeah, well, you ought to see your son now. Okay. And I said, now my youngest son, when he gets stressed out, he goes all the way. If it's on the pipe or if it's heroin, jail used to rescue him. But now he's been cooperating with the police. He don't get no rescue. So he be wobbling around. I said, man, you do what you want. I said, don't you worry though. I said, I'm on this cracker's behind. What he done to y'all? I said, it's a father's duty to protect his family. I said, there's no way for me not to go upside this cracker's head. It's not possible. Because he's a bad human being. You see what I mean? He don't leave you you can either be broken or you can't cooperate on a human level and say, well, Sam, all the stuff they doing, we doing on our terms this time, because you got to remember, at first we were victims of society, of the system, because they could do anything they want and you'd get mad and this and that, but you wouldn't fall for it. You would do what you still got to do. Then we become kind of competitors. So a decade ago, the competitive stage was in 2002, when we had our program here. Khadijah and Karima were supposed to have a fight. It was supposed to be about Imam Musa. Karima is not supposed to love me enough. And old mean Khadijah, which that's poor Abdul-Malik's attack dog. One thing for attack Karima, but you can't use no bomb like that as attack dog on me. You can't do it. I'm too far advanced. This is ridiculous. They're going to use Mukhtar and Khadijah, people that have never been out of Ethiopia. And that he existed in the community basically as a janitor. But they're desperate. So Abdul Malik and them failed. You gotta remember now, stages of growth in the Islamic movement, tactics deployed against the Islamic movement. We have to use all of what we know to engineer the system. Remember, look at how sweet this is now. You got to remember. We have engineered the system. The same tactics we told them, draw them in deep. You never lose if you lose 90% of your people, 90% of your wealth, don't make no difference. We ain't nowhere near any of that. But when Khadijah and Karima and it spoils our environment. I talked to the leadership here. I said, don't worry about it. Just send everything through me and I'll smooth it out. It's not what happened. When Mukhtar came in and sat down, he took charge of it. He says, I want to say that, took charge. I said, okay, that's it. That's it. If you study from 2002 on, we went on their case. By 2005, we had boxed Abdul-Malik in. By 2007, he packs up and ready to go. All the stuff he's doing, we talk about the highly married woman. You never know what that really was. He marries a highly married woman because it's supposed to be, she's supposed to ask him to get with me. That may be the way it was, but she's part of the original curly-headed crew. The original curly-headed crew from UC Berkeley. Abdul-Malik is an appendage. He's not curly-headed as they are. He's just a low-level, dirty red. He ain't yellow like them. They are real middle-class looking. Good hair, high yellow. Them niggas, they not no. He just dirty red. He can pass for 100% Negro. He just don't have nothing in him. Yeah, he just getting by. But these are card carrying. All of them could go to what's the old test they used to have, brown paper bag test. I don't think Abdul-Malik could even get in that brown when you think about it. He's dirty red. They may let him in some. But anyway, here's what we got to do. All the little traps and trips they got along the way. So Halle Berry calls me every day after they get married, and I'm out here, and I say, you got a husband now. Da 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 da. So you got to figure what was they up to. If the strongest position that a person has is ethics, at that time, I'm the only Negro Imam that went 15 years or more celibate. Right at the juicy time in your life, it wasn't a big deal to me. Why? Because I was moving. When Allah let me know this is what He wants you to do, it was more important. Women and children would be a hassle. Every family is another masjid. That's the way I looked at it. Right? Because remember, we get Papa masjid here, Papa. A family is a masjid, and then they divert you. That's why the dummies thought when I got married to Sister Bahia, his first person he was associated with. And they read, look, you talk about a pitiful group. Somebody would have told them that I just love yellow women. I'm not against it. They happened to look at my first wife. My wife happened to be the friend of a friend. And my friend, the brother, had her best friend was homegirl. So when we went out, she said, hey, why don't she come? So we got to know each other. She's fine. They never saw, I'm going to show y'all pictures of Miss Mary and all that. Miss Mary is so black, she's black as that thing. Speaking. Miss Mary is a tar baby. Miss Mary was older and all of that. She was from the older crew. But she gave me all the game I got from her. You know, she was on the other side of town. All the people, the Ward brothers, Frank Washington, them, that was their crew. I was on the other side of town, East Oakland, all the young and up-and-comers. And I got the game from Miss Mary. And the pimps, my best partner, big pimp, second, third biggest pimp. They knew each other's family. They say, you gotta drive, you gotta make out the rest. They know each other, that's their friend. And they had a saying, they said, yeah, my partner Ike, we was in the pen together, he was a good friend of mine. He said, yeah, they talk about Mary pimping. You know, Mary's gonna pimp me, I'm the youngster. I said, that's good. I never gave Mary a dime. And all the pimps used to say, I get my money on the dresser. You know, I don't know if y'all remember that stuff. Yeah, and I was too ashamed to tell him that she would bring my money and put it under my pillow like two fairies or something. I was too ashamed to tell him, well, I get my money under the pillow. Because, don't nobody say that, and it would sound like, maybe I was a teddy bear. I don't know what it was, but I never told till, I told a few people. They was telling me I gotta beat her up and I gotta make that beat, do this. Listen, everything I give her, she bring all the money back and she put it under the pillow. And more, I said, and she cooks real good. First woman I ever had made real good hash brown potatoes, boiler potatoes, and everybody else did all kind of. I said, this lady's from the old school, shoot, she's a tar baby. You wouldn't believe it. Up to this day, they'll run a high yellow girl past me almost per day. It makes me sick. If I tell them we're gonna go to a restaurant, like last, for the birthday of Fatima, they go, what's the seafood place?
Red Lobster.
Red Lobster. That's the yellowest girl. That's fine with me. I go to Starbucks now, Zionist coffee place. There's a yellow girl. And then they all look right at you to let you know that you want to say something. These buttholes want you to break your ethical state. See, if you got a moral principle you stand on, you standing on something. But they believe every nigga, everyone, will crack under a tender pie, under a cutie pie, either a yellow girl, dark one, shapely, or a white woman. And they swear by white girls. And I look at them like, these people are stupid. But if that's what they want to do, anyway, we use what they think we have engineered the whole movement. You have to admit it. Tell the truth. People trying to tell us, you're not important. Nobody's paying attention to you. I said, is that true? I said, well, doggone if I go down there and we go down to, we going to care. The first day is a whole load of white folks come out. The next time we go down there, the time after next, we got the police, right? The preacher, and the Negro.
The council group.
Yeah. And then the time after that, how many Suburbans went by that?
Like 4 or 5.
It was way more than 4 or 5. But it was Suburban after Suburban, and all of them do what? Look at us, right? Tell the truth. It's ridiculous, right? And nobody is paying attention. Look, everybody is paying attention to us, right? 100%. If they want to play that, ain't nobody paying attention. Ain't nobody paying attention to them. So CARE is paying attention. At the UN, if the foreign minister jumps up and run upstairs before something happens and go hide, and then you make a move, and then everybody knows it's all associated with that. Or you go over and you visit a past president, like a personal, friendly visit, and everybody knows it, right? And then the stuff we put out, if the Rahbar know it, if the people that watch the certain things, that's why they took that off. Why would they take that off if it wasn't, it hit them so slick, it was so, look, it was so smooth. Because all of a sudden, they wanted to show us something, so they put all that stuff up there. And we laid on them, but remember, we downloaded all of it. We downloaded everything. And then, God knows who else downloaded. Then, we do 3 right in a row. 1, 2, 3. It had caught them by surprise. And then when I told them what I was doing a few weeks ago, they said, oh my God, they closed it down. Because it was deadly. It exposed all of them, right? It's the chief of all of us saying, the stuff he was saying was, I don't know, I don't say he's exaggerating. Imam Musa is everything that is good. You remember him saying? Good God Almighty. And he's seen the whole picture. And everything we've been looking at, and we've been looking at it all our life. And then he comes and tells us, this is in South Africa, the chief racist state in the world. The state that's known by apartheid. America has segregation, but it's not known by, they'll call it a democracy, but apartheid is called, this is South Africa. And the most big thing about it is this racist, pure racist. I mean group racist. Group Home Areas Act, where if you part of this group, oh, you can't live over there, you can't now. Oh, you live too dark, you can't live over there. Those is mixed, those is a little bit of Malays, a little bit of white, a little bit of nigger, a little bit of Indian, that color. So you can't live with them because you're too black. Oh, you are Indian. You 100% Indian. 95. You can't live over the Group Home Areas Act. You're a black. You gotta stay over there, right? I mean, you can have the biggest house. You can have a mansion. But it has to be right there with all the shacks. And you would see some big, nice houses, all the shacks and tin roofs. So we have to, you've got to look at what we have to do. This is not small stuff. And it definitely ain't nobody paying attention. And I'm telling you, remember I was asking you about that big picture of the rock that I would show downtown. Now I took that picture to California. I know because I made one stop and I had it out. Then it disappeared. Yeah,